question is, and this is being defined, what is trauma? There's 3 different definitions. There's acute, there's chronic, there's complex. Acute is from one single event, so one single stressful event, but it was so stressful that it's like, it left a mark, right? So acute trauma. And then there's chronic, and that results from repeated and prolonged exposure to highly stressful events. That could be abuse, that can be bullying, that can be any form of domestic or physical violence. So it's continuous, right? And then there's complex. So that's exposure to multiple traumatic events. So it's just like spurts here and there, okay? So we are going to talk about this because, say, if someone is looking to be able to achieve a goal or to be able to achieve a dream, right? What we're talking about this because, one, God doesn't want anything to be in the way of the things that he has for you to do. So the first question is, what are some ways, right, that someone can be able to overcome trauma? And we're opening up. It can go in any kind of way. You can talk about emotional, talk about physical, you can talk about whatsoever, because this is a safe space. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. And thank you for sharing that and bringing that definition up. I think it's important for us to talk about this topic because we have talked about a few things in a couple of weeks ago, which I believe this topic also is in line, if not directly, because most of the times, life is a journey, and as we go through the journey of life, we all get to a point where, emotionally things go on. Sometimes we get to a point where we feel anxious, we feel so, depressed and all that. These are real life issues that we need to look at it and see how best we can, some of the solutions and ways of overcoming them. So like you had mentioned earlier on, one of the areas where I see, especially last year, where people that I know went through, traumatic experience emotionally, and some of them, by virtue of the fact that they couldn't get there, they couldn't open up to people, they couldn't let people know this is what I'm going through. It didn't end well, and that's why I believe it's good for us to talk about it, because last year was, so many things and all that, and we are still continuing. The year is still ongoing, and so we get to a place where we feel like, I need to maybe rest and maybe recharge and all that. These are all, avenues where
real things
exactly come in. So to answer your question, I would say that one of the areas that I'm paying attention to, particularly about me, is to be able to, identify the real issue at stake. What is it that I'm going through? Because like you mentioned, there are so many areas. Am I being stressful? Have I been able to really identify what is causing that stress? Am I being anxious now? Am I able to identify what the cause is? I believe that there is a remote cause for all these things, and there is a root cause. Adam was the cause of all this, the sin of man. Let me put it that way. And because we are talking about trauma, it's more like an emotional thing that we go through. But also, I know that everything that we go through, there is an enemy that is behind. The enemy instigates things. He wants things to go wayward and all that. But one of the things I've seen is in the area of isolation. When people go through traumatic experience, the devil tries as much as he can to whisper into our ears, and then because that is the real time where we actually need to associate. We need that fellowship. If we are Christians, we need that brethren around us to confide in. Hey, you need to talk to me. You need to pray for me. You need to say words that will, liberate me. But these are times also that you see we tend to, be laid back instead of rather, getting close to people and opening up to people. So I believe that the issue of isolation is also key when we are going through things like this. We really need to also understand the fact that we need people, because that is how God has made us. We are made for each other. We are made for each other. So we need people to pour into us, encourage us, and then we get the freedom that we expect.
Is there someone that I can speak to about these things? Is there someone that I can, just keep it real with? And many times he'll point me in the right direction to that person. So I'm not just, going around just, I'm talking to everyone about, what's going on. It'll be the right person or persons. So yeah, it's definitely, it's been a journey. So no, I definitely understand finding the right person that you trust, someone that will listen, someone that will, there are times where, no offense, there's nothing wrong with receiving advice, where I just want someone just to listen. Like currently I'm making, changes, in my personal life as well. And, it'd be nice, I do have people to talk to, but there are times where I really need to talk to somebody, right? And so if people are, busy, or people have other things going on, it's really awesome. I can talk to God, and then I'll be like, all right, God, who else? Who can I talk to right now? And then he'll sometimes even let me know, like, call Richmond. I'll be like, Richmond, pick up the phone. You think I'm playing? I'll call you after, okay? Anyways, God will always provide. God will always provide. So the thing is, keep it real with him. Talk to him. He'll always direct who you should be able to talk to. Sometimes he'll even bring the person so you can just be yourself. But I believe that an element of being able to overcome trauma of any sort, any of the three that's been named by the definition, you need people, which is why God gave us people. Another question, we, had mentioned, speaking to people, talking to somebody and everything. What if someone doesn't have someone to be able to talk to? Then what?
Yeah, that is a great question, But like we have said earlier on, my first counselor is definitely the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
He's the chief among all counselors. He's the one that we need to fall on the first place. Now I've spoken to God about it. There is no way I don't have anybody in my life that I cannot talk to. Like how Annette had mentioned, it's about trust. There are people around us, but I'm just not sure as to who to confide in. Is this person trustworthy? Is the person able to help me when I'm able to speak to? So I think that is the main issue that we need to deal with, because I believe there are people around.
Yes.
Yeah. There will definitely be people around, but the question that comes in mind is, am I really talking to the right person?
Okay.
Am I really finding out who? Because I have a family and there are people that I can talk to, but I have friends, I have people, colleagues at work and all that. But which of them am I identifying as somebody that is able to help me, counsel me, speak into my life? Yeah. So I believe we have people we can talk to, but just find the right person.
Richmond, you can call me, okay?
I will.
You can call me. All this searching. Search on your phone, click NO. All right? Hello. Done. Like, what are you doing? You don't have to look that far. Truth FM.